It's now time for Me and My Roku with your host, Peter Clay.
Who's your guy?
Peter.
So we have a voicemail now from Peter.
Not everybody sounds like Peter Clay.
This is my brother Peter.
Pete, you are not
Peter Clay is here today. Holy crap, it's Peter.
Oh, I love Peter.
Don't you want to know where Peter is today?
Good luck tonight, Peter.
Your host, Peter Clay.
Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to another holiday edition of Me and My Roku. I'm your host, Peter Clay. Welcome aboard. Yes, most people are taking time off to do podcasts along those lines. Not here. Not me. I took the summer off. That was enough. I had enough break time. I am still here to share with you all the things I do with my Roku and streaming devices and services and news and notes and stuff and all those things. And I come out there, sift through it all, and I absorb it all myself, and then I spit it right back out at you. Not directly at you, but just off to the side a little bit. So that I give you the information that I find interesting, and hopefully that rubs off on you a little bit and all that stuff. So that just sounds not right, that having spit up information on you, rubbing on you, but that's okay. Anyway, I'm here to share all the different things that have been going on just in the last week or so in the streaming universe and all that stuff, and coming around and seeing what's going on, all that stuff. Like I said, a lot of people taking a break from podcasting right now, but does the listener? We'll find out. You decide for yourself when you're going to listen to this. I may be saying Merry Christmas to you and all that stuff, and you'll be like, dude, it's July. But, hey, that's the way it goes. So, we have got some things to get to tonight, so let's get started.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Okay, well, kids, the long national nightmare is over, and it involves Disney. Yes, more importantly, Disney Plus. Yes, that's right, Disney Plus is once again in this household. I know you were concerned and upset. How did I live 2 weeks without Disney Plus in this house? I had to cancel it because the other day then, on the 21st of December, at the time of this recording, that the Disney bundle was included now with Hulu Plus Live. So, whew, I feel much better now. And I was concerned about the process, and it turned out to be not that big of a deal. I had to go to my Hulu account, and then right on the top, actually, in the Hulu, it says sync up your accounts, click here, click this link, and then all I had to do was log in, use my old login with Disney Plus, and boom, I was in. And Disney Plus, had to go to the Disney Plus app. So Disney Plus is not included with Hulu on the app, but ESPN Plus kind of is. So like the big things, like the NHL hockey before they shut down for the Christmas pandemic break, and things along those lines, and some European football, oops. So that's all taken care of. So beautiful integration there, but I can still go to the ESPN app, which I then canceled the ESPN Plus on there, which expires January 9th. But wonderful Hulu and all that stuff gave me a credit for the time that I had used it so far. So that was very nice. So the bill, not as laborious this time, but it will raise come next time around. And so $5 more, but you get the Disney bundle included. So very happy about that. Oh, that other Disney news. Yes, we talked about it on the News, Notes, and Stuff podcast, which is the last podcast on this network here, on this podcast feed, that Google and Disney were not getting along, and that Google was going to remove Disney-owned stations along their network there on YouTube TV. And they did for about 24 hours until miraculously, all of a sudden, an agreement came to be. So, but the clickbaiters had the time of their lives in that 24-hour period. They're going to do a 6-day mini-series about it on YouTube, probably. So, but anyway, it's all good for now. no carriage disputes. I think we're going to take a little holiday break and everything's going to be all good to go. So everyone's good now. YouTube TV, Google, then did also credit people $15 if they stayed on stuff or were getting on and all this stuff, whatever. So, but everything's good now. So everyone relax. Disney Plus is back in this household here. Now I can watch Hawkeye and all the different shows and all that stuff. Oh, and the Legend of Boba Fett now is coming up and all that stuff. We got all of it. So Disney Plus back in this household. Google-owned stations including ESPN and Disney Channel and all that stuff back on YouTube TV. We can now relax and celebrate the holidays here on Me and My Roku. Okay, so on the last big show, I started a segment called Back to the Basics. So I went back to just kind of give some of the basic reasons of why I do this things in the first place. And the number one segment in that series was on the hardware. It all starts from there. So I went through and I gave the top 8 devices in this house that I use as kind of a back to the basics of the hardware, because in all fairness, it was the hardware that, if you want to go to the chicken and egg of all this, but actually even before I got into cord cutting, I needed a device to do it. So there was an urge to cord cut, but until I had a device in my original Roku XD, even the thought of cord cutting wasn't even, I needed an alternative, and I didn't know what to use at the time. So it started with one. It started with a Roku XD. Then that needed to be replaced with a Roku 3, which we still have. And it's gone on from there, and I started this podcast again, and now there's 8 devices. And I ranked them on the last Back to the Basics on Me and My Roku. And it did not take more than about 3 days for me to totally screw that whole thing up, because, well, it's the holidays, and I don't know, the little missus has been hinting that, I'd really kind of like to have a bigger TV in the living room since I'm retired now, and I watch TV during the day sometimes, all that stuff, and it's a little small and all that stuff, so she's been kind of hinting at it. I mean, not literally threatening or anything like that. I mean, body parts were not involved or anything like that, but just subtle little things. You know what wives do? They, say, well, it'd be really nice. So anyway, in the period of this holiday season of shopping, I've had a half a dozen different things in and out of carts, shopping carts at either Amazon or Best Buy or something like that. And this is like at the very last second, I couldn't pull the trigger. Just nothing just spoke to me. It seemed like a pretty good deal on an Amazon TV in association with Best Buy. And I think I might have had it in the shopping cart 3 times. And I just could not pull the trigger on it. So then one harmless day, at Costco, we just go in there and all of a sudden here are the TVs, and all of a sudden one is just going, ah. So I picked up a Samsung Crystal UHD 4K 55-inch TV, and it is now, so that kind of now throws a wrench in my little rankings of the system, which at the bottom was our 58-inch UHD Google TV. Nothing wrong with the TV. The picture's great and everything like that. But the software, it's Google TV, and it was originally Android TV. And it's, 3 or 4 years old now, and it's slow. It works great for Netflix. And maybe a couple of other apps native to Google or something along those, like YouTube, and things along those lines. But you try and then go to Hulu, and it's buffering and all that stuff. So that was in at number 8. All the way to number 1 was the Apple TV, the second to the last generation, not the new one with the new remote. The previous model of that with this same old remote, but you get used to it after a while, and you can even use it on your phone if you want as a remote. So, well, how did that shake things up then a little bit? So I had to do some little critical thinking here and say, well, it's better than the bedroom TV, and it's not better than, it's just brand new. It's newer right now. But the fact that it's still at its best uses a Roku Ultra, and the Roku Ultra was number 3. It couldn't be better than that, so it slips down to number 4. So that is the Samsung Crystal UHD 4K 55-inch TV, and at number 4, that makes the Chromecast with Google TV slide down to number 5. The brand new Amazon Fire Stick 4K Max slips to number 6. The Roku 3 hangs on, still alive, and at number 7. The bedroom Fire TV Insignia is number 8, which is the monitor also for while I do this podcast. And number 9 then is the Hisense 58 Google TV, formerly Android TV. So little screwing up there myself. So we have a new toy in the house. Why not at this time of year? So we had 8 devices. Now we have 9. It screwed up also my 3 TV setup downstairs, because in the TV that was up in the living room, I took that downstairs and then moved that to TV number 3. Formerly TV number 3 now moves over to number 2. And the TV that normally was number 2, well, let's just say we sent it out to the farm to live with other TVs and all stuff. No, we didn't kill it. It's fine. It's just sitting in a room right now. Probably going to recycle. But it'll be fine. It's okay. So anyway, so the other back to basics things I was going to do. So I was going to do the harp thing. That was the whole reason why I was going to do it. So like last week, let's just pretend in our mind that I'm starting over here. Yeah, back. Anyway, that's okay. Oh, sorry. I did it again. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, pointless now. But I was trying to be clever. And that'll teach me on that. So then my next thing in the back to basics was then to start going through some of the apps. And it started going down a whole rabbit hole of different things. So I start first with the free apps. Then it broke down to, okay, well, there's ad-supported apps like Pluto TV and Tubi and YouTube and all this stuff. And then there's like just free, they're just linear things like JTV, the home shopping network things. And then there's ad-supported ones supported by a major network, like Peacock and Hulu, and which isn't free. But anyway, excuse me, I'm all choked up about this. So I decided to kind of hold off on that. I'll get to that, and I'll break them all down. And then subscription ones, and then subscription ones with a major network. It's like, trying to sort them all out. But I got time off here during the holidays, and we'll sort it all out for you and all this stuff. So what I wanted to get to today for the back to the basics is the actual back to the basics, that mindset that I went through myself, just speaking for myself, and then maybe that gives you some thoughts about thinking outside of the box. That's the whole point of cord cutting to begin with, if you're doing this as a cord cutter. Okay, so because people ask me all the time, do I really save money cord cutting? And I end up doing an answer like trying to get an answer out of Bob Dancer when I ask a video poker question. The answer is, it depends. And there's not only necessarily one answer to solve your problem and all that stuff. It's a classic case of critical thinking and along those lines. Yes, you can cut the cord today and stop a cable bill, and the only thing you maybe use your cable then for is just the internet, and cut your bill in half right there, and you can do nothing right there, and then everything else that you can get for free and all that stuff. But if there's other things that you want and everything like that, you're going to have to pay for it. The trick on it is no, you may, in theory, spend just as much as you did with cable, potentially even more. You could be a real weirdo like me and do other things in the background, and you can get all these things and get gift cards for things, and technically you're not paying for them out of pocket, but you're getting gift cards and all the things, and that's another option as well. The fact of the matter is that you are now in control. Just think of all the things that we talked about in the last segment about Google and Roku fighting and all this. If that happened between you and your cable company, there was nothing that you could do about it, except for maybe try and get an antenna if it was a network station. But let's just say your cable company and ESPN and Disney and all that couldn't get along. You didn't have any more options. So now when this whole thing went down with YouTube TV, didn't affect me at all. I've got Hulu. I could have had Vidgo or Fubo. So there's more options. You are in control. And sometimes people don't want that. As much as that's it. For me, getting in control was the whole idea. I'm in control of this now. It's my thought. So the one thing also here is you got to stay on top of these things. And so again, staying on top of these things, you're going to get news that they're trying to trick you. So here's our little back to the basics tip on this, and this is also why I started doing the news notes and stuff. I sift through all that stuff and just find the things that is important to me that would infect my streaming and also, or things I just find interesting, and then I share it. And it's up to you to decide whether or not that's important to you or not. So let's do a critical thinking exercise here. This is what we used to do in philosophy class. And so a little scenario here. So guy, this is in the Old West, okay? Guy rides into town on Tuesday, okay? And he spends 3 days in this town. Okay, the first day he spends painting fences. Second day he spends it at the saloon. The third day he spends it at the sheriff's office, and he leaves the next morning on Tuesday. Okay, so how did he do that? If he was only there, technically he was there for 3 days, but on the fourth day he's... So the answer to that trick question is, his horse is named Tuesday. He rode in on Tuesday and left on Tuesday. He wasn't there a week. He was there for 4 days. Okay? So these are the things you're going to see on the news, and they're going to give you things. They're going to and leave out critical information that you need there. All I could have said is he rode in on his horse Tuesday and spent 3 days. That would have been the easiest thing to do and all that stuff. But then it wouldn't be a trick question, then, would it? So you're going to see things in the news, like right now you're seeing a thing that we had this cream cheese shortage. Well, we didn't have a cream cheese shortage. We had a Philadelphia cream shortage. It didn't have anything to do with the store-bought cream cheese or anything along those lines. They just made it sound like, oh, there's a Philadelphia cream cheese shortage, so you had to go to the store then and get your cream cheese before they ran out, just like we did with the toilet paper during the pandemic. Now they're trying to get you is that the country Turkey is having issues. Well, because Turkey is a major exporter of hazelnuts, that means Nutella, there's going to be a shortage of that because they get their hazelnuts from Turkey. When, yes, Turkey is a supplier of hazelnuts, but also so is Central America and South America and all that stuff. They just tell you that, oh my God, since there was a cream cheese shortage and there was problems in Turkey, there could be a hazelnut shortage and then therefore a Nutella shortage. So get to your store right away and get your Nutella. In the streaming universe, getting to the point here, I promise. Google and Roku had a contract expire. Google and Roku started fighting. And then they took away YouTube TV. They then eventually came to an agreement. Now, someone went and looked up and says that Amazon and Google's contract and Roku's contract is going to be expiring. Therefore, Roku and Amazon are going to fight. We don't know that. And we just saw between Google and Disney 1 day. That's all it took. So that's the whole thing on these things is you're in control. And don't listen to everything and get all the critical information you need so that you can make the critical decisions you need to make for your streaming services. Back to the basics there. And long-winded there, and we invoked philosophy, so all that hard lectures that I sat through paid off finally. Whew. That's the back to the basics for this time on me and my Roku. Okay, kids, gather around. Whoa! Not so close, though. Got lots of things going on right now, and we don't want it. It spreads a lot easier, apparently, and all that stuff. Even though most of us here are fully vaccinated, especially around here, let's just not take any chances, okay? But let's just have a conversation here, a little discussion here, and give thanks at this holiday time to the ones that have provided the bandwidth of this podcast and all my podcasts since 2005. And that is our friends at the Internet Archive. The keepers of the Internet Archive is at archive.org. Check it out. And on January 1st, 2022, something historic is about to happen. For the first time ever, 400,000 pre-1923 sound recordings will enter the public domain, thanks to the new U.S. law, the Music Modernization Act. And to celebrate, the Internet Archive is teaming up with powerhouses of the open knowledge world for a virtual event on January 20th, 2022, a celebration of sound. And it's not just music. On January 1st, children's classic Winnie the Pooh, Hemingway's Sun Also Rises, and Rudolph Valentino in The Son of the Sheik. And I also believe some Agatha Christie as well, including the Murder of Roger Ackroyd. I will talk about that later sometime. But first, in addition to musical recordings such as Scott Joplin's Maple Leaf Rag, thousands more. They will all be free for creative reuse and sharing. Thanks to our friends at the Internet Archive, and you'll be able to reach those at archive.org. The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, the third Hercule Poirot novel from Agatha Christie, will be into the public domain, and it ruined murder mysteries for me. It was a good book. It was fine. It was well done and everything like that, but I figured it out long ago, and it was like, oh no, that can't be true. And when it got to the ending and all that stuff, and I turned out to be right, and I wasted all that time and all that stuff, I was bitter, and I threw the book down, and I never read another murder mystery ever again. But that's okay. I still kept reading and all that stuff, just not murder mysteries and all that stuff. Fine book, wonderful. Check it out today at archive.org. Folks, I do crazy things in the background. I do things. And you don't have to do these things. I talked to some friends of mine and asked them how their streaming was going. They still have cable TV, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. They still use Netflix through their TV, but that's okay. That works for most TV sets and all that stuff. They could use a Roku. But anyway, they don't want to go through. When I tell them when I go through, they say, yeah, no, I can't do that. And I understand. But if you yourself want to get cash back for the things that you do, that you shop for, that you do anyway, why not give it a little kickback, and that way you can get a gift card that you could use for streaming, or you could use, I don't know, for cash. It's up to you. Check it out, swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. That will get you in the front door there of everything that you need to do, and find out for yourself. If you want to do crazy little things like I do that run in the background, like I do, that's fine. If you actually want to take the time and do surveys and all that stuff, you can do that. Or just get percentages back on the things that you shop for anyway. Why not give it a try and check it out for yourself? Swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. Look out for the new year for all the historic things that will be coming into the public domain thanks to the new Music Modernization Act. And you can access those things on the Internet Archive at archive.org.
Hi, Rick.
Hey, Pete. How you doing?
I'm just fine, Rick. Hey, can I ask you something personal?
Oh, I suppose. What the heck?
Well, do you have hemorrhoids?
What makes you say that?
Well, nothing really, but it's just that your right hand seems to move to your backside quite often.
That's ridiculous. I'm perfectly fine. Oh,
Rick, I mean, if you have a problem, you should just come out with it.
All right. I have hemorrhoids, okay? And not little ones either. I mean, these are big flamers, and it's not just my hand either. I mean, I've worn all the furniture here in my house. I mean, we're talking major hemorrhoids here.
Rick, I know. But, you can get helps for hemorrhoids.
Sure, but I can't afford surgery.
Rick, we're in the 90s now. There are lots of ways to treat hemorrhoids without surgery. And many of the medicines that are available now you can get without a prescription.
Hey, that sounds pretty good.
It sure does, but you really should get the advice of your doctor for the best treatment.
Thanks, Pete. I feel better already.
This has been a public service announcement of the National Hemorrhoid Sufferer Society and the Association of People with Worn Furniture.
Only by forgetting the past can we master the future. Okay, we have some time for some news, notes, and stuff. I have a separate podcast. I'm going to throw it in on the end here of the program here as we just about ready to check out for the holidays here. Well, for Christmas at least. I'll do one next week. I got time off next week too, just before the new year. Well, I'm sure something newsworthy or something along those lines, or something just newsworthy here in the house. Well, when I got time and I'm actually doing things, and I'll do some more of the back to basics too. I'll go through some of those apps and stuff like that, free subscription and all that stuff. I'll sort it all out for you. I'm sure you're on the edge of your seat waiting for that. All right, news, notes, and stuff. CuriosityStream announces the smartest bundle in streaming. Smart, I guess, because CuriosityStream, I've tried them in the past. It's fine. There's other things out there too, but for a nominal fee, CuriosityStream was cute and clever. The UI was just a little okay. It was okay. It was fine. And the programs were good and quality good, all that good stuff. But now, anyway, CuriosityStream has launched an enhanced premium tier offering called the Smart Bundle because they want you to be smart. That's what they're trying to. The quotes are there for. The bundle provides exclusive access to the platform's films, shows, and series in 4K, as well as 5 other leading subscription services dedicated to educational content and exploration travel entertainment. The price will be $69.99 a year, and the bundle will save subscribers at least 88% compared to paying for each service individually. The services include CuriosityStream, Tastemade Plus, SOMM TV, SOMM TV. There's wine, food, travel, hospitality. Tastemade, do I need to say anything about that? It's Tastemade Plus. Award-winning food, travel, and home and design series and docuseries. And Topic. That's the name of it. It's called Topic. Exclusive, critically acclaimed, and award-winning crime thrillers, drama, noir, and international films. Doesn't that sound exciting? One Day University. That's interesting. Classes from America's top university professors. And then finally, Nebula, educational streaming platform featuring videos from YouTube creators. So apparently you don't go to YouTube for that anymore. Anyway, so if that trips your trigger, if you're looking for something to justify a brand new 4K TV, let's just say, is I actually want to learn something and not just watch Christmas in Vermont, or anything along those lines, or Bagels Forever, or anything along those lines. Like I said, CuriosityStream, I did a trial on that before, and I think the nominal cost on that is like less than $12 for the year. I think it was like $2 a month or something like that. So I did it one time, and I just found, for me personally, and this is why it's me and my Roku, Documentary Plus is an app out there that's free. YouTube and every other subscription service has some sort of documentary and science function within their thing. So I like the effort. I like that they're offering this and that there's other things. And if you get this and say you get it for the year, you're kind of stuck with it for a year, and you just find out that you just use One Day University. I found out that One Day University is only like $8 a month or something like that. But they're right. They use over a year. You're paying, at least $70 right there. So yeah, could be good to have it streamed to get other things as well, including critically acclaimed, award-winning crime thrillers, drama, noir, and international films. So options are always abound for you in this universe, and that's just one of them. I think there's a lot of other less expensive alternatives still. Maybe even better quality, but who knows? You decide for yourself. I'm sure there's a trial. Check it out today. The CuriosityStream Smartest Bundle. Former Disney CEO Bob Iger has left Disney. I mean, just in the middle of the night, just said he was going to stay on board. There's a new CEO and all that stuff. He left that role earlier in the year, and he was going to stay on the board and all that stuff, and now he just in the middle of the night just said, see you later, and now he's coming out with some quotes and saying that Disney Plus needs more diverse content. Now, he may have said that. They may have, the clickbaiters may have just said that to get you to click on that and all that stuff as he left the door and all that stuff, so who knows. Report streaming demand surges for action and adventure, but cools for drama. And can you really blame anybody right now? I mean, obviously, Netflix has a whole bunch of action movies. Was it Red Notice and all that stuff was out there? Actually, better film than people get credit for. But, we're living drama right now. Why would you want to then go watch drama and all that stuff? You want happy fun and blowing things up. Why not, right? And then finally, Are you confused about which Yule log to watch during these holiday times? Should I watch the one on Pluto TV or on the Roku channel? What should I do? Well, folks, go to the clickbaiters and do a search, and right now, and you'll find rankings of each of all the streaming Yule logs out there. Actually, there was one on Disney Plus that has the characters of Frozen on there too, and it's in 4K. It's actually quite lovely, and the fire is crackling and all that stuff. So, very nice. But sometimes some have music, some just have the fire. There was one, and I think it was on Pluto TV. I'm not sure. It was on the 4K section and all that stuff, and I literally thought that my TV had become a fireplace. But that's me. Anyway. Well, I'm getting a little itchy. I'm getting a little twitchy. I need to get back to my Yule log on my TV and my Roku. But I want to thank you for listening this whole year long and dealing with all my personal issues with my family and my cat and all that stuff. And we made through it, my summer break and all that stuff. But we made it through, and it's going to be, I swear to gosh, and you would have to say 2021 was a little better than 2020. I mean, we weren't locked down and all that stuff. We were just kind of keeping our space still and feeling things out. Well, we'll get there fine, and it'll be all good. So thank you so much for everything you do. If you want to keep on listening to this program and all that stuff, stay subscribed and all that stuff. Also want to thank archive.org for their support and all that stuff. Check them out today. The keepers of the Internet Archive and the bandwidth of this podcast and all my podcasts since 2005. I mentioned that you can subscribe to this podcast, and you can do that, obviously, because you're listening to me right now. But if you want to tell a friend or anything along those lines, you can tell them to subscribe to the Me and My Roku podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Ghana, GeoSavan, Himalaya, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartMedia, Podbean, Pandora, and Odyssey. And I checked all of those. I went to all the links on all those, and everything works there swimmingly. I was very impressed. And so you can tell people to go to any one of those things to subscribe to this podcast. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Radio Affliction or on Instagram at Pierre Argyle. But if you need one-on-one questions, comments, or anything along those sorts, email me at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. Have a wonderful Christmas time, because it is, the actual holiday is actually Christmas. We'll get to New Year's next week or next time and all that stuff, and we'll say Happy New Year then and all that stuff. But enjoy the time off if you're getting time off. If not, tell a friend or a loved one or anything that you think of them this holiday season and all that stuff. And I hope for all that stuff that you are enjoying, you and your Roku, as much as I'm enjoying me and my Roku. And I'll be back with you real soon.
It's over. It's all over.
Okay, do you honestly want to sit and watch movies on YouTube?
It's stupid.
Wait, do you know what a chord is?
I think 4 feet long, 4 feet high, and 2 feet wide. That is a chord.